Imagine being, like, the absolute smartest person in the room. You have the ultimate vision, flawless execution skills, and you've just been handed this critical, world-changing project. Do you lock yourself in an office to guarantee perfection?
Probably not the best idea.
Right, exactly. Or do you hand it off to, I don't know, a bunch of entry-level trainees? Welcome to today's deep dive. We are unpacking some notes from Pastor Beard Strong, who looks at how Jesus faced this exact leadership paradox 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, specifically in the Gospel of Matthew.
Yes. Our mission today is to figure out why a figure with supreme authority chose a team of ordinary people over a solo act, and what that actually teaches you about mentorship.
Well, it really defies standard perfectionist logic. Like, we naturally assume supreme power means working alone, but you're looking at a leader who supposedly has the universe at his disposal.
Literally.
Right. He is freshly out of surviving 3 massive temptations in the wilderness. He's 30 years old, ready to preach, and his very first executive action isn't a miraculous solo campaign.
It's team building.
Exactly. He goes straight to the shoreline to recruit partners.
I mean, I get the idea of delegation, but realistically, taking on trainees slows you down. If you have a literal world-saving mission and a ticking clock, taking time to teach fishermen how to preach seems, well, horribly inefficient.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a brilliant startup founder who could easily code an entire revolutionary app over a weekend. But they deliberately choose to hire junior developers instead. Like, why not just use his divine authority to broadcast the message himself?
Because a solo act, no matter how flawless, has a shelf life. Pastor Strong points out that this wasn't a sudden pivot or, a backup plan.
Totally.
Yeah, it was the blueprint all along. Historically, from Noah to Moses to the entire nation of Israel, the divine model has always been partnership. The ultimate goal is building a sustainable legacy, like disciples making disciples.
Okay, but to build a lasting movement, you have to fundamentally transform those junior developers.
Yeah.
You don't just hire them, you change how they see themselves.
Right, you redefine their identity.
Exactly. Jesus literally renamed Simon to Peter, which means the rock, and tells these fishermen they're going to be fishers of men. But here is where I get stuck. The cost of this transition is extreme.
Yeah, they leave everything.
Right. They leave behind their boats, their tax booths, their entire livelihoods. Nobody drops everything on a dime just because a charismatic speaker walks by.
Yeah.
I mean, what is actually driving that?
So to understand that, we have to look at the context Pastor Strong brings in from the Gospel of Luke. Peter had been fishing all night with 0 success.
Classic bad day at work.
Totally. Then Jesus steps into his boat and directs him to cast his nets into the deep water. And suddenly, they pull up so many fish, the boat literally starts sinking.
Wait, so let's pull our startup analogy back in. That is like the visionary founder stepping into the junior developer's code, spotting one bug, and suddenly making the software run 1,000 times faster.
Spot on. Think about the psychology there. I mean, Peter's entire identity, his ego, is wrapped up in being a master fisherman. When Jesus casually orchestrates the greatest catch of Peter's life, it just obliterates that ego. Peter drops the nets not out of blind obedience, but because he realizes his own mastery is absolutely nothing compared to what's standing in his boat.
Wow.
He actually responds by saying, "I am a sinful man." And that realization of being totally outclassed is what prepares him for the command to follow me.
And the phrase follow me isn't just about agreeing with a philosophy, right?
No, not at all. The literal Greek translation means to position oneself physically behind the leader.
Which makes total sense practically. I mean, in an era before textbooks and Zoom screens, learning wasn't about absorbing information from a lecture.
No, it was about physical mimicry.
Right. You literally stood behind the master to match the swing of their hammer or the cadence of their walk. It was muscle memory mentorship. You watch, you copy, and you learn not to fail too hard.
Exactly. And the core message is that true success in this ancient model isn't about relying solely on human effort, whether you're a first-century fisherman or, building a company today.
Right. It's about being a conduit.
Yeah, the ultimate goal is being empowered, in their context via the Holy Spirit, to rescue others and replicate the mission. You aren't doing the work alone.
So if you're managing a team or leading a project right now, the takeaway is brutal, but necessary. Your legacy isn't the actual work you do.
No, it's the people you equip to replace you.
Exactly. It's essentially an apprenticeship program designed to outlast the founder.
Because a mission only survives if there's someone walking behind you, learning the muscle memory to take over when you're gone.
which leaves you with something entirely different to think about. Next time you feel overwhelmed by a massive project, ask yourself this.
Yeah, what's the real issue?
Are you burning out because the work is simply too hard? Or are you burning out because your ego is refusing to let someone else carry the nets?